Okay, so the mindset behind ranking. I truly had to believe that I could do it without a shadow of a doubt. And not going to say that there weren't doubts that came up, but anytime there were, I had to speak out loud. Like, I believe that I am this rank. I believe that I can do this, or um, dig deeper into personal development. So there was always something that I knew I could counteract with when I had doubts in myself. So whenever you guys are feeling that way, because it is going to happen more times than not, dig deep as to why and self-explore and find out the real reason why you may be doubting yourself. Because it 9 times out of 10, what I've learned personally is that there are deeper reasons why I don't believe in myself, or maybe there was things that were happening in the business that I just didn't realize were affecting my belief in what I was doing. So that is number one. Number two is, guys, it was so messy. It was messy when I hit this rank. I was obviously in the beginning, I hit managing market builder MMB in 4 months, 4 or 5 months, but it was messy the way I got there. And I was exploring so many different things. I was open to new ideas. And it was just, I don't know, it was fun. There was no pressure. And I was just kind of, not saying it was messy, like I was like, obviously conversations and stuff were kind of bad in the beginning. But as far as like how I was, oh man, maybe I should have focused more on my PV in the beginning of the month rather than trying to have all of my team and make sure that they were good, because, like things like that, actual tangibles, are things that I wish that I would have fixed in the beginning. So it was really messy. And I think that you all need to be okay with not being perfect. Don't think that you have to have the perfect content to put out all the time. You have to word things perfectly. The way that I got better at wording was messing up and maybe saying the wrong things and rethinking how I could have said something better. And then I can always, now that I've like been through that, I can go back now and reword something to somebody that I messed up in the beginning. So you just really have to explore and be open to new ideas. And that was something that I was really, really I'll say I was really good at in the beginning, is just being really open to information and never thinking that I had it all figured out. And I still don't have it all figured out. I have everybody has their own like VIP process, I feel, but we just all have things that what was that? Gosh, I lost my train of thought. We all talk to people in certain ways differently, but at the same time, we have our own systems, but you can still be learning and improving what you're doing. That's what I'm trying to say. So, actual tangibles though. So, number one, I didn't hit any of my ranks alone, meaning my mentor was doing every single call with me. I was having so much help because I understand that you cannot get to the top alone here. Obviously, if you want to, and that's a goal, you have to put people onto the opportunity, but you also have to be willing to ask for help. The whole point having a mentor is to have somebody that can find your blind spots potentially. So before I get into that point, I was talking to everybody that I could. And I showed up every single day on Instagram. So we're all very comfortable on Instagram on here. So I feel like I should be able to hold you all to a standard of showing up every day. There were days that I really didn't feel like it. There were days that I was going through stuff, and I just had to get creative. And you don't have to go on Instagram and try to be perfect all the time. Nobody is going to relate to you when you're trying to be perfect all the time. They want to see the real you. People are buying from people nowadays, so they want to know that you're a real person. When I go to your Instagram, I should see something like, how can I add value to this person? I just want you to think about people you follow and why you follow them. And then ask yourself, okay, well, when people come to my page, what do I want them to kind of know about me? So everybody should be showing up on Instagram. I feel like it's a non-negotiable. I know things happen and life happens, but if you want to be successful, and even if your goal is not to be at the top of the company, if it is just to like promote the products and help people, we still have to have the same energy. We have to have the same hustle. So But like I said, I was talking to literally any and everybody, anybody that I thought would do well, anybody that was one already active on Instagram, people that I knew from school. I was finding ways to talk to them. I've had my list down. And obviously everybody, it was during when I hit MMB, it was during quarantine. So everybody was on Instagram. Everybody was at home, everybody could see. So I feel like in that time, that's the way I hit MMB, but now I have to find a different way to hit these next ranks because everything's opening back up. Not everybody's on Instagram as much, or they're on there, but it's not as like, I have nothing else to do, I'm just going to be on my phone. Like I actually have to get creative and go out and meet people and join different groups or put myself in situations where I'm just even having a conversation with a stranger, because that's really uncomfortable sometimes to just go up to somebody and just be like, hi, how are you? Like just think about it. If you're in a coffee shop and you see somebody standing over there by themselves, just kind of like, hi, how are you? It can be kind of awkward, but those things make you grow and get you comfortable with having those conversations. And over time, you'll be way more comfortable doing it. Okay, so second thing was I was so coachable and I was willing to be told where I was lacking. Being coachable is honestly one of my biggest traits, and I understand that. But at the same time, there was moments where I had to really put my pride aside and be able to receive information, because there's not always going to be it's hard to be told what you need to do sometimes if you're not really in that space to receive anything. As far as personal development wise, everybody like should be doing personal development on here, but it can seem like somebody is being your boss and attacking you, but that's not at all the case. Anything that comes from my mouth, anything that comes from Stephanie's mouth, is from a place of love and just guidance, because we've already been there and we've messed up. And some of the things that maybe you don't see that we have seen play out in the long run, we're just trying to help you avoid that. So anytime Stephanie tells me anything, I really am just shush. I don't say anything. I take in the information. And a lot of the times, the things that are hard to hear are the things that I needed to. Like, for example, one time, it was during volleyball season. I remember because I did the call in my car, and I was telling Stephanie, like, what do you think I could be doing better? I was asking for feedback. Like, I wanted to know from somebody who was a director, who was above somewhere in the company that I haven't been yet. And it doesn't even have to be directors, guys. It can be somebody that's maybe MMB, maybe AMM, somebody that's a little above you that has gotten to somewhere you haven't, that you can take advice from. But I told her that I was, wanting to figure out Instagram and like how I can post more authentically and find my dream people, because I really want dream market partners, And she was asking me questions like, who is your dream market partner? Like, what does she sound like? What does she wear? What does she do? Or who is he or she? And as I was answering, and I told her, I said, I just really feel like if I talk about that on my Instagram, or like only speak to that person, I have a whole bunch of followers from different backgrounds in various areas. Like I have young moms, I have college students, I have older people that follow me, like my coaches and people that have coached me before, family. I have so many different demographics. And she was like, that is such a scarcity mindset if you think that you can't reach people. Now, if I hadn't really worked on myself and been open to feedback, if she would have said that to me, I would have been really offended, telling me that I had a scarcity mindset. It's like anybody probably would have turned their nose up to it and probably thought like, why are you saying that to me? But truthfully, I did, because of deeper reasons. I don't come from money. I don't come from a whole lot of abundance and influence. Like in terms of having a scarcity mindset, it was with money, it was with the way I looked at money, it was with the way I looked at life and the way I looked at my future. Everything in my childhood and like a lot of things that I just have realized within my family really affects the way that I viewed a lot of things. So when she told me that, I took it and I sat with it and I really reflected. And I was like, wow, like I really do just think that I have to talk to all these people. She's like, if you think you have to talk to everyone, or if you are talking to all these different groups of people, you're never going to find that. And then that kind of tied into people pleasing, like having to talk to everybody, thinking that you need to have these conversations with moms, um, young moms, people that are in college, people in grad school. I'm not in grad school. Like or wanting to feel like you have to people please and find all these people is a scarcity mindset. And I had to realize that, because my people are, they can come from those areas, but I'm not a grad student. I'm not in college anymore. I was, but I don't have to always be speaking to those people. Like if you want a certain market partner and you want a certain dream person or somebody to work hard like you do, you have to speak to that person and those people will come. So my view on this business really did have to change. And I hope that made sense to you all. But I was just willing to be told every bit of information that I could. And I still am. I very much still am. I have a lot of knowledge now when it comes to the business, but I'm very, very open to any and everything, because I want to know where I can improve, and you're always improving. So that's something that you have to understand too. You're not going to just get to a point and then be good. There's always going to be a new level of you required for, or there's always going to be a new level for you required for wherever you're trying to go next. So you can't just constantly be the same person. You have to always be leveling up. But I want you guys to look at it as something fun and amazing. It's not this stressful thing. Just there's always something you can learn. And then whatever you learn, you can add on to other people. So that's what I mean by Instagram. Like you can go on your Instagram and share what you've learned with people and add value to them in that way. So understand that your mentors are just guides and cheat codes. They are going to help you get to where you need to be, not to be your boss or anything, because we don't have bosses here. We are all our own bosses. And I would much rather have a mentor, somebody who can say, here's what you need to do, now go do it. Or have somebody say, this is a plan for you. This is where you could do better and all that. Like, go. And I would rather apply it myself rather than having somebody constantly down my throat. So a mentor is somebody who's just simply there to guide you, and help you find those blind spots. So the last little thing that I wanted to say was hitting any rank or hitting any goal that you have for yourself. Let me try to word this. Logistically, you just have to know your numbers and don't be afraid to look at numbers, because I know for a while, personally, the numbers kind of scared me. Like knowing that I had to make 5,000 in sales for Mmb, like that was hard. That seemed really hard to me, but eventually it became, as I broke it down and made it like little, it was a lot easier. So know your numbers and know where it is that you need to be at for whatever rank you're trying to hit, or whatever goal. Like map it out month to month and use your mentor to help you. So that is it for the call. Actually, I'm gonna stop recording.